So it's just kind of a terrible cycle that,
Yeah.
that you feel bad, and then the people around you feel bad, and then you're hard to get along with because you're depressed and stressed out, and then that stresses them out because they've got their own version of what's going on. And that was a pretty bad place, and it ended with, maybe you'll go to jail for 5 years or longer, and you'll lose your ability to practice law, and you won't be able to do the thing that you define when people say, what do you do? I'm an attorney. Well, I had said that for 13 years.
Right.
And so, to think about not being able to say that anymore, and then what do you do going forward? That was a lot. And it was I don't know, maybe a year or two, maybe, gosh, that was towards the end of 2002. So certainly from 2002 to 2003, 2004, somewhere between 2 and 3 years of just really, really hardcore depression, 6 months of just not wanting to get out of bed, and then kind of running from the feelings by traveling everywhere. That was all just, like trying to figure out what was going to happen. And by the way, as all this was going on, because there was a case that the government had, and of course, then the Internal Revenue Service came and said, U.S. millions of dollars also.
Just a by the
That
way,
was,
right? Just kind of like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it was like there was not a lot to look to for in terms of support, and in terms of what did the future hold.
Yeah.
So it was very, very scary, and it was the first time I think I had ever really seriously contemplated opting out and not continuing to deal with it. And somehow I got through that period of being depressed, of running away from things, of not knowing what was going to happen, which was in its own right quite terrifying. And I couldn't tell you. I know the moment that it changed for me, but I couldn't tell you that here's this thing that I did or that I saw or whatever that got me through to the other side. But the funny thing is if you decide that you want to commit suicide and you Google how can I do that, because that's the first place that you would go, then all you get is help not committing
Oh,
suicide. So
interesting.
it's not a good customer experience for the person who wants to commit suicide to go to Google and try to figure out how to do it. And then all the ways, as I was thinking, well, I could jump out of this building that I'm in, and then I could jump in front of that bus, and I could do this. But all the ways that I was thinking of doing it, like, hurt other people, and I wasn't of a mind to take a whole bunch of pills or something like that. It just didn't make sense. And I don't know. I went through thinking about all the different things, and somehow came to the other side of I am going to face whatever this is, and I'm going to deal with it. And that was and I'm not a super religious person, but that was in a small, like, alcove of a church in Denmark, in Copenhagen, that had like stained glass all at the top, and there was benches around it, and it was maybe octagonal or more sided. And I was sitting there on the bench just thinking about everything, and I decided that I was going to just to deal with it and face it all, and handle whatever happened. And so that was the decision that I ultimately made. And then after that, once I had made that decision and I had ruled out the option of of suicide or other bad things, it was just then, okay, so what do I do? What's the next step? One step at a time. And